Hello everyone, and I welcome you on part 4 of our AI implementation crash course from Dymix Academy in our community as the welcome course. So before we start, I would like to congratulate you upon moving so fast and going so far, because you probably understand that you have some things in mind. There are so many information. You already worked with the experts or asked some questions in the community to peers, and you've made it so far. Not many people do that, so congratulations and well done. So today we will speak about our prioritization of the processes, which we worked with and gathered on the previous step. We will dig deep into that process of how to do this correctly and how you can actually pick up your first AI automation and AI goal for automating, right? Before we move forward, let's get back really quick on our main concept of AI implementation in any business. And it can be either the specific project for like simple personal AI automation, or it can be multinational project with thousands of people to work with. It's a simple process like problem, when you gather all the problems and all the specific things which nag you, which you are affected by or you're not happy with. Second, which is process, is processing and mapping the process for some or all problems. So basically understanding what are the specific steps which are done in the specific situation to solve these specific problems. This can be either step-by-step guide based on the deadlines with the delegation to the specific people, or you just do this by yourself. So you probably saw that in the workbook and already did some work and also spoke with the community members. So now we're on the third step, like automation, right? So we need, before going to the fully into automation, we need to prioritize and pick up our process to start automating. Why is that important? Because basically you and I and all people on this planet have limited resources in some cases. Of course, you can be Elon Musk, and I'm really glad for you for that. But in most cases, we are all ordinary people, and we have limited resources, limited time, limited amount of money in order to implement and solve our problems in the business and personal life and in general to make them better. So basically we need to prioritize and we need to make this as focused as possible. And basically you have already 3 to 5 processes which you gathered and picked up from the list of problems and mapping of these problems. And now we need to pick one of them. Why is that? Because focus is the main thing. You need to understand that this is working, it produces real results and outcomes, and it is manageable, even with your level of expertise, level of resources, amount of information you already have, amount of time you have, and other parts of things which you can think of. But how to do this properly, how to pick up the right process to automate, how to find out that this is the one and this is the most important thing I need and can go all in right now. Let me answer this question. So basically, after having the list of problems and list of processes, we prioritize them and we have and need to follow this key concept. We need to pick one process or problem with the highest frustration, with the highest profit impact, the easiest and the fastest to implement. Why is that? Because basically the highest frustration means that you are really unhappy and you have a lot of emotion, you spread resources, you spread your focus, your team maybe is unproductive, and this brings the highest frustration for you and for your business and for your clients probably, because they also see the outcomes which are negative maybe from your work or your service. Next, highest profit impact. As we are working in our projects, in our business, or even in personal life with doing automations, we need to prioritize based on the ROI, right? We are business people. I offer you to think in terms of the investing. So basically, how much time and money and resources I invest in the specific field, in the specific thing, in a specific automation, which can actually give me measurable higher returns than I input. If this does right, and you will work for this formula, you will be super wealthy in your life, because basically you will receive more than you invest in. It can be in your time, with the health, it can be with your work, with the money, with the resources, with the team resources, anything you can think of. So highest profit impact here. The easiest. Remember, we are not building the rockets for Mars. Of course we can too, but right now, in order to understand that this is working, we can implement and do more automations for our businesses, we need to pick the easiest one and the fastest one, because basically we do not have 2 years to automate one simple process which can require like 30 days to do that, or maybe a week to do that, because the market can change, as I said previously in the episode. The human behavior can change, the products can change, everything can change. So basically, combining all these factors and all these points is your first automation. And basically, this is the thing which you need to focus on for a specific amount of time in our next episode for 30-day implementation track, right? In order to pick this up and prioritize, you have all the resources and all the questions which you can reflect on in your workbook. So please check that out. And basically, if you are not in the community, or you're watching this from your YouTube or other resources, I highly recommend you to go to the community and sign up, because it's free, and you will receive this workbook which you can work with, interact with other peers, and be more productive. So we are going to our action plan for this specific episode. And I highly recommend you to do all the actions, because this is how you get results. It's okay to go through all these sections and read the workbook and understand everything. But in order to be productive and receive the physical, measurable success and results, you need to act. So first, pick up one process to work with. You have the specific section in your workbook in order to understand how to do this correctly with the specific tips and tricks which we prepared to you. Second, write detailed process description for this one process. So maybe if you did general description of the processes on the previous module and previous episode, enlarge that. So basically add some details, understand who is responsible for what are the things or thoughts you had while communicating with experts in the community, or maybe with the peers, or maybe watching for some videos, or maybe news, and basically do that as well. Share your progress to the community chat and with the experts and receive instant feedback. This is done because basically it will help you to overcome some mistakes which you might not know how to solve, because basically if you ask an expert, he or she can answer you in a little period of time, and it will take 10 to 15 minutes to solve the problem. But if you do it by yourself, you will spend like 1 hour, 2, 5 hours of your time. So to be more productive and understand that you are keeping on the right track and you are going with a specific direction and a specific focus, I highly recommend you to interact with the community members and experts to understand that more clearly. This is the wrap up of this episode. I highly recommend you to do actions. See you soon.